Hi there, it's Tiffany from Daisy Farm Crafts, and today I'm just going to show you a quick tutorial to make a little gift bag. I made this for a pro ladies golf tournament. I needed a little bag for these golf balls I have of my company that says Daisy Farm Crafts. We were handing it out because we had the opportunity to play with her. And so on the plane ride over, I just made this quick little gift bag. But after I shared it with you on our crochet sister chat, several people were like, hey, I want the pattern for that. That would be so cute for sunglasses or for, well, anything really. And you can make this any size that you would like. So that goes in there. Sorry, I evened that up. You can make it so it's right on the front. Just a quick little tie. Here you go. Let me give you the tutorial on how to get that done. Now you can use any yarn that you would like. I just am using Bernat Softy Cotton. I am using the recommended hook size of a 4mm, but pay attention to what hook size the yarn you're using is and go from there. So basically what you want to do is make a chain the length that you need. So this can be any number. It just does not matter. Probably a good idea if you wanted to make a better size gift bag is like 6 inches across the bottom. For me, and I just was making this little golf ball thing, I just kind of, made it a little bit extra wide. I used 18 chains. 18 chains is about 4 inches. So, but whatever the width of the gift bag that you want to make. So what I did is just single crocheted into the second chain from the hook. And then I made a single crochet into each one of the chains and kept working across the row. In the very last chain of the row, work 3 single crochets, all underneath the same loop. Kind of gets you around to the bottom of the chain. Just move this out of your way. Now we're on the bottom side of the chain. Now on the underside of each stitch, work 1 single crochet. Now we're back here at the start, and in the very first stitch, go ahead and work 2 single crochets. So that will get us, essentially 3 at this end and 3 at this end, and then 1 stitch in between. Now don't worry about joining or anything. What I did is just start working into the back loop around. So it is this top V stitch. I'm working underneath each loop, and I'm just going to go around and around until I have the height that I need of my gift bag. Okay, now just work one all around each corner. Like I'm just going to work one into this middle stitch, and then one, and that will pull the side up. Now I've worked myself around to the starting side, and I'm just still going to keep working around. All right, that's going to build up this direction, and when we have it about 6 inches tall, then I'll show you what we do to finish it off and get a little tie in there. Okay, so when you have it about 6 inches tall, or whatever the height is that you need, and how I always tell I'm back to the starting is I come around to where the chain was down here. Now we just want to do one round of double crochet. So I'm still going to work into, sorry, I got one of those strings. I'm still going to work into the back loop, but this time I'm changing the stitch up. This will give us some space to be able to thread our little string through. Okay, I made it all the way back around, and I just slip stitched to the first double crochet of the round, and then I'll tie that off. Now, obviously you can tell that the lines, so what you need to do after you weave in this end is simply turn it inside out. So, or if you like that look, you can leave it that way too. But this is the outside. Like that. So now what we'll do is just simply make a chain. And I chained about 100. So you definitely just want enough to go around and extra so that you can tie it in a, so that you can cinch it closed and tie a little bow if you'd like. All right, so when you have a chain that is long enough, just give that a clip. And you can weave these ends in later too. I kind of I'll definitely give it an extra knot right here so it won't fall out. And you can either weave this end in or leave it, it's up to you. But what I want to show you is that then I grab a safety pin and I push it through the end, because we are going to, of course, after I weave in that end too, I just go in and out of the double crochets, and that's what will help us. That's how you get it to cinch close. To make the pretty little cute flower, we're going to start with a magic ring. So place the yarn with the tail hanging down over your hand. Give yourself a little loop and then push, pull just half through. So it's like you're almost just making a half little slip knot here. Put your hook in there, grab the working yarn, and then just do a tiny little chain one to kind of lock it in there. Now, I'm going to work a little bit of a cluster, a yarn over, insert my hook into that circle, yarn over, pull up a loop. I'm going to do that 3 times. This is our first, number 1. Do this again, yarn over, insert your hook into that circle, pull up a loop. Here's 2, and here's 3. Pull through. So we're just making these little clusters for the middle of the flower. There's going to be 6 of them. So I'm yarning over, inserting my hook into the middle of that ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, and do that 2 more times. Yarn over and pull through. Now we've got 3 of them. I'm not chaining in between or anything. I'm just pulling through. And honestly, with this small yarn, I'm grateful for my Susan Bates hook because it really's got this hook that will grab the yarn. Yarn over. Three. Okay, so I've made 4. Here's 5. I'll do one more really slow. Yarn over, putting my hook in the middle of the circle, pulling up a loop. And pull through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm going to pull the tail and pull it towards me, and that will tighten that circle right up. And I pull this as tight as I can. And to finish this off, I'm going to slip stitch to that very first chain 1 that we did. Pull through, and we've got the center of our flower. Now I'm going to give myself a really long tail, because not super long, but make sure it's long enough, because this will help us when we sew it onto the gift sack. We want to use these tails to sew. Okay, there is the center of our flower right here. Now with the cream, what I'm going to do and also if you want to count, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 loops around this little center part, which is good. Now let's pull up a loop in this next one right here so that we can join our cream yarn. Give ourselves a long tail too. We'll need that for sewing. Just go ahead and pull up a loop through and then chain . We want to chain 6. In the 4th chain from the hook, So we're skipping over 1, 2, 3. Work here in the 4th chain. Yarn over and pull up a loop and pull through 2 loops and stop right there. Yarn over, insert your hook again into this same chain, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through all 3. So we're making these petals a little bit chunkier by using a double crochet 2 together cluster into 1 chain. So now I'm working into the next chain, yarning over, pulling up a loop, pulling through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 3. Okay, we have 1 more chain to work into. Yarn over, pull up a loop, work through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 3. Okay. Now you just made a little petal, so you're going to slip stitch into the next chain space and do that again. Chain 6. Begin in the 4th chain from the hook and begin making 3 double crochet 2 together stitches. Cluster, a double crochet cluster, I guess you could call it, 1 in each of the remaining chains. So there will be 3. All right, you're going to work all the way around, and that should give you 7 petals. So when you're done, you just slip stitch to the next stitch that you see. All right, so I have my 7 petals, and we're back to that. I just worked the last one kind of into the join that we did, and so I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch over here to the first stitch. Kind of get them all together. Now what you want to do, since they're kind of curling on us, but you know, and keep in mind every yarn is different. You may not have that problem, but what I'm going to do is now work single crochet into each stitch or on the underside of the stitch. So right now I'm working on the underside. This is where, remember we had the chains. So I just worked 3 single crochets on the underside of each of the cluster stitches. And then where it's the chain 3 that kind of count as the first stitch, I just work 2 single crochets around the chain 3 that's at the first that we've, you know, remember we worked into the 4th chain from the hook, so these are those chain 3s. And now that gets me to the top of the stitch. So there'll be 3 down the side. Now, if you have different yarn, bigger yarn, and you need 3 single crochets, go ahead and put 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then I'm gonna go over here to the underside of the chain and work 1, 2, 3, and I'm up here with my, and I work around those stitches. Okay, so that kind of helps get our flower to lay more flat. All right, so I've made a little single crochet in every stitch, and now here I am back to the beginning, and I will just slip stitch and give myself a long tail that I'll need for sewing. Pull that through. And then as we sew it on, you'll notice that it will lay flat onto the little project. So, and honestly, you can choose if you like the look of that side better, kind of more of this, the lacier side, you can sew that side on. Doesn't matter. Sew whatever side you like. But the tails help to be able to sew that on. You'll just grab a tapestry needle, and like I said, you'll use these ends to just carefully sew it in and out and around, secure it. And I went ahead and honestly on the inside of mine, after I was done, I just tied square knots to finish it off. But that's it, that's what you do. So I hope you are able to make a bunch of cute little bags for whatever you might need. I was also thinking this would be great for a cell phone, or, you know, anything. So cute. All right, thank you so much for stopping by.